You were in your son's bedroom trying to make him sleep, but today he was being really stubborn, not ready to sleep, telling you his school story, asking some weird questions. Sometimes his questions amazed you that you fell into deep thoughts, and sometimes his questions were that weird that you got a headache. That's exactly what is happening now. He had been asking weird questions since an hour, and now you are really tired of his questions. Minsu, please sleep. We will talk in morning. Promise that you will tell me that trees are living, but why can't they move and talk? He said, showing you his little pinky. You chuckle at his cuteness and intertwined his pinky with yours. Promise, my boy, now sleep. You made him lay on the bed and covered him with his blanket. You laid beside him, running your fingers through his hair, trying to make him sleep. You smiled, looking at his cute and innocent face. You felt really blessed having this cute and naughty boy. You kissed his forehead, smiling softly at him. He looked at you with cute, sharp eyes, returning the same wide smile. But your smile dropped hearing his next question. Amma, where is Appa? I didn't see him since very long time. He didn't take me out on picnics anymore. He didn't even play video games with me. His questions made you think about him, your husband, Park Jimin, and about the things that he has been doing since a few months. Now, what will you explain to this innocent soul about his father's deeds? You were in deep thoughts but flinched when you felt him pulling your arm. Amma, tell me where's Appa and why isn't he spending time with me? Minsu, Appa has a lot of work to do. He's very busy, that's why. You felt really bad for lying to him, but you couldn't tell him the truth either. Didn't he miss me like I do? He asked with a sad pout on his face. Your heart clenched seeing your son sad, but what could you do? So, to lighten up his mood, you said with the same pout on your face, nobody loves me. Everybody only wants their appa. I am so sad. Minsu giggled at your reaction and hugged you tightly. Amma, don't be sad. I love you so much. Liar. If you love me, then why aren't you sleeping? You have been troubling me a lot today. You are getting naughty day by day. Bad boy. No, Amma, I am a good boy. See, I am sleeping. He quickly closed his eyes. You smiled at his cuteness and patted his back to make him sleep. Your little package of happiness. Finally, after some time, he fell asleep. You carefully detached yourself from his hold and got down from the bed. You covered him properly with the blanket before exiting his room carefully without making any sound. You sat on the couch in the living room, turning on the TV, waiting for your husband. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. You fell asleep there itself, waiting for him. You woke up with the sound of doorbell. You looked at the clock and it was 2 past midnight. You sighed and got up to open the door knowing who could be at this time. You opened the door and a heavy weight directly landed on you. It was your husband. You held him before he could fall. He was again drunk. Not only drunk but totally wasted. You wrapped his one hand around your neck and held his waist from your other hand, bringing him inside the living room. His head was leaning on your shoulder like his atlas was broke. His whole body weight was on yours. Though you were holding him, still he was stumbling on his steps. After it felt like an eternity, you finally brought him to the living room and made him lay on the couch, stumbling along with him throughout the way. You looked at his state. His hair was messy, his clothes were stinky and dirty with alcohol all over them, sweaty body. He was looking like a drunkard who roamed around the streets. Sometimes you wondered how did he even manage to get home. He looked at you with his half open eyes and smiled at you. Ryan, he started blabbering some nonsense which you couldn't hear clearly. You decided to take him to the bedroom as you don't want your son to see him like this. You held his hand gently, pulling him to get up. You somehow managed to get him up and took him to the bedroom holding him. You brought him to the bedroom and made him sit on the bed. You went to other side of the bed to remove the pillows. As you moved, he vomited all over the floor and after this he fell back on the mattress with a thud. You sighed and went in the bathroom and brought a wet towel. You removed his clothes and wiped his body with the wet towel. You brought some fresh clothes and made him wear them. Tears pulled in your eyes. You made him lay properly and covered him with the duvet. You was about to walk away when you felt his grip on your wrist. He looked at your hand and then at him. He was again blabbering something but his eyes were closed. You removed his hand and bent down to kiss his forehead. You gave a long peck on his forehead. He stood up straight and looked at the mess that he created. A sob left your mouth. You went to bathroom and came out with a bucket of water, a dirty cloth and a mop to clean the mess that he created. You cleaned the mess while tears were trickling down your face. After wiping the floor, you placed all the things at their respective place and went out to sleep with Minsu as you don't sleep with him anymore. Ryan and Jimin were high school besties. With time, they grew feelings for each other. One day, Jimin finally confessed to Ryan and she accepted him wholeheartedly as her feelings were no different from him. They dated for like 6 years, and in the 6 year, their love for each other never faded away, not even for a second, unless it grew deeper with time. Indeed, they have fights and arguments like any other couples, but they never ever thought about ending the relationship. Rather, they always find a solution of every problem, and in the end, they were together. And one day, Jimin decided to propose Ryan for marriage. Even after living with each other for a long time, he shuddered while proposing her, and she laughed at his nervous state. When he slided the ring in her finger, she started crying. Jimin also started crying, hugging her, being overwhelmed with the emotions. A month after their marriage, the arrival of new member in their family was revealed. Jimin and Ryan were on cloud nine. The new member came with lots and lots of happiness and it became the strength of their love. This bundle of joy was none other than Minsu, their 4 years old son. They are married for almost 5 years now. 5 years of marriage, 6 years of dating, and before that, their friendship. Like this, they were together for almost 12 years. Their life was going smooth and beautiful until 4 months ago. One day, Jimin told you about his boss transfer, and the new boss didn't seem to like him. You comforted him not to be stressed, but you think that comfort was not enough. Rather than talking about his stress to you or maybe taking a short break to clear his mind, he decided to release his stress with alcohol. Wow, what a nice way. Initially, it was just 2, 3, or 4 drinks, but as you know, with time, alcohol reduces its effect with usual dose. So he started drinking uncontrollably. Within a few days, it became his addiction. He forgot about everything, you and Minso. There was only two things for him, he and the alcohol. You tried to talk to him many times to stop drinking, but no use. He went to work early and came home late at midnight with the state. Him creating mess and you cleaning it has become a daily routine for you. You are still staying with him because you have faith in your love. You are hoping that someday he'll leave this addiction and again become your old loving and caring husband. As you came out, closing the door behind you, you saw Minsu standing there with his half-closed eyes and a pout on his face. Minsu, what are you doing here, baby? Amma, I heard some noise. Did Appa come? I want to sleep with him. No, no, baby, you can't sleep with him. Why? I want to sleep with him. He whined, rubbing his sleepy eyes. He is very tired and he's sleeping now, so we shouldn't disturb him. Let's go. Amma will sleep with you. He raised his hands, indicating you to pick him up. You smiled and picked him up, walking towards his room. You placed him on bed and laid beside him. He hugged you with his little hands. In no time he slept again. But what about you? Sleep was nowhere near you. You blankly stared at the ceiling. An unknown fear crept into you. You were having a really strange feeling, a feeling like something is going to happen. You don't want to think negatively, but you can't help it. These thoughts were running into your mind. You fell asleep thinking about all of this. You were preparing breakfast. Minsu was still asleep, and Jimin, well, you don't know. After some time, you saw Jimin coming towards you holding his head. It was daily routine, so nothing new for you. It was the after effect of drinking. He groaned, coming towards you. Wine, can you make me a cup of coffee? You forwarded the coffee mug towards him that you just prepared. Thank you. He sat there having his coffee. He placed the empty mug in the sink and proceeded to walk away when you stopped him. Jimin, we need to talk. About what? You know very well. When? Please don't start in the morning. Then tell me, when should I talk to you? At night? When you are nothing but a body full of alcohol. I'm trying to leave it. Stop saying it when you are not even trying. You think of me as a fool. Stop saying nonsense, Ryan. I'm trying, okay? You really got angry at this point. You are trying, really? Do you even remember where were you last night? When and how did you come home? And what you did after coming back? I. He became speechless. Of course, he didn't remember anything. He was totally wasted. Not only last night, do you even remember any single night from last 6 months? No, right? Jimin, please stop it before you lose everything. Stop it, man. Stop controlling me. I know very well what is right for me and what not. So please stop being my mother. He said and proceeded to walk away. But he halted in his way when he said, if you keep being like this, then there is no other option for me other than leaving you. For the last time, Jimin, stop this before you lose everything and left with guilt and regret. He didn't turn back and walk away. Your knees felt weak and you fell on the floor. Tears were dropping down your eyes. What did you do to us, Jimin? Look, where are we today? Please stop this. I can't be a separation for you. Please stop this for our son, for us, for our happy family. After crying for some time, you got up and wiped your tears, continuing making breakfast. After a few minutes, you saw Jimin coming downstairs, fully dressed in his office attire. His eyes met yours, and he looked at you for some time before looking away, leaving for his office. He didn't even bother to check on Minsu for once. You changed. I hate you, Jimin, for making my son suffer, but at the same time, I love you. I hope you don't do something that I had to leave you. After preparing breakfast, you went to Minsu's room to wake him up. You smiled looking at your sleeping angel. You went towards him and sat beside him. Minsu, Wakey, wakey, come on, get up, it's morning. He whined and squirmed in his sleep. Minsu, good morning. Rise and shine. You kissed his head, but when you touched his forehead, you found him burning in fever. Oh my, you have fever, baby. You went out and came back with a bowl of cold water and a cotton cloth. You placed the bowl on the nightstand and dipped the cloth in it. You squeezed out extra water before placing it on his forehead. He flinched at the sudden cold feeling. You searched for your phone and dialed his pediatrician number. After asking about his medicine and everything, you hung up the call. You went to kitchen to prepare soup for him. Your whole day went in taking care of Minsu. He troubled you in having medicine and all, but you somehow managed everything. It was 8 in the evening and Minsu fell asleep after having his food and medicine. It's been 2 days since Minsu is sick and since you last talked to Jimin. Nothing changed about Jimin. He is still on the same. Today is Sunday, day off for Jimin, which he used to spend with you and Minsu, but now he didn't stay at home anymore. About Minsu, his temperature sometimes becomes high and then reduces the next hour. His pediatrician said it's because of weather changing and recommended the same medicine for him. You woke and the first thing that came in your view was Minsu. He was snuggled up in your embrace. You smiled and kissed his forehead. His temperature was normal today. You got up and placed a pillow at your place for him to snuggle. You did your morning routine and went towards the kitchen. You stopped in your track when you saw Jimin there in the kitchen. His back was facing you. He was sitting near kitchen counter and his head was down on it. You were surprised to see him. You went near him and what you saw next made your blood boil. There was 4 empty bottles of soju and a wasted Jimin. I can't believe this. You started drinking in morning also? You said, shaking him by his shoulder. He lifted his head and wrapped his arms around your waist and snuggled his face into your stomach. If it was in the past, you would blushed and kissed his head. You gritted your teeth and removed his hands. You hold his arm, pulling him to stand up. Get up and go to your room. I don't want Mincer to see you like this. You held his drunk figure and took him to his room. You came back and threw away the empty bottles and cleaned the area. You sprayed room freshener to remove the strong smell of alcohol. It's afternoon and you were watching TV to distract your mind. Minsu was sleeping after having medicine in the morning. You looked at the time and it was almost 4. You decided to wake up Minsu and took him to park to change the ambience. You came in his room and found him still sleeping. Minsu, wake up, we'll go to the park today. You checked his temperature and it was again high. You tried to wake him up, but he wasn't opening his eyes. You panicked and tears were already falling from your eyes without your knowledge. After trying for some time when he didn't wake up, you quickly ran to Jimin. Jimin, wake up. Minsu is not opening his eyes. We have to take him to the hospital. Jimin, please wake up. You shook him by his shoulder, but he was sleeping soundly. Jimin, please, I need you. Please wake up. But he didn't wake up. You yelled out of frustration, sobbing loudly. What do I do now? Your mind clicked and one person came in your mind. You ran back to Minsu's room and called that one particular person with your shivering hands. After 15 minutes, the doorbell rang and you went to open the door. You opened the door and the person came in. What happened, Ryan? Where is Minsu? In his room. He isn't waking up, Taeyong. I'm really scared. Please do something. First, stop crying. Let's take him to the hospital. He will be fine. He went to Minsu's room and carried him while you followed him. You both took him to the hospital. Kim Taeyong, yours and Jimin's best friend from high school. You three were friendship trio during your high school. He was the only friend you never lose contact. He is the only person you trusted the most after Jimin. You came back after 3 hours. Minsu was all fine now and sleeping in Taeyong's arms. You sat on the couch and Tae went to put Minsu on his bed. He came back with a glass of water and handed it to you and sat beside you. You took a few sips before placing the glass on the table. Thank you so much, Taeyong. I don't know what would happen if you didn't come today. Don't be so formal, Ryan. You would have done the same if you were at my place. By the way, where is Jimin? Today is his day off. Tears gathered in your eyes and you took a deep breath before speaking. He's sleeping in his room. Why? Is he still on his alcohol thing? And sleeping at this time? You busted out crying and he hugged you and rubbing your back to calm you. After some time, you calmed down and pulled back from the hug. Now tell me what happened. You told him whatever was happening and whatever happened today. After listening to you, he was very angry. This is not done. I didn't expect this from him. I'm really disappointed. Taeyong, you really helped me today. Help me with one more thing. What is it? Please call a taxi until I pack mine and Minsu's stuff. But where will you go, Ryan? I don't know, but one thing is for sure that I can't live here anymore. I can't let you go alone. You will come with me to my home. You know that I won't. I don't want to be burden on anyone. I'll find a place for you until you can stay with me. No, I won't go with you. And neither I will stay here anymore. I will go today and now. Okay, let me call one of my friend. I think he has an apartment here and he shifted a week ago. So it's empty now. You can live there and you can't say no in this. Thank you again, Taeyong. Van, please. I'm your friend and it's my duty to help you. Now come, I'll help you in packing. You came back with Minsu in your arms while Taeyong was carrying your luggage. You looked at the house for one last time. You wanted to see Jimin also, but you don't want to be weak when you finally made a tough decision. All the memories flashed in front of your eyes. Your eyes were filled with tears. You love Jimin, but it is best for you, for him, and on top of everyone, it was best for Minsu. You are tired of hiding everything from him, so it was better to leave. At least you don't have to hide anything anymore. You came out of your thoughts when you heard Taeyong calling your name. Ryan, let's go. The taxi is here. You nodded at him and went out, glancing at your once home one last time.